Thank you, Chairman Manchin, and I want to thank Ranking Member Barrasso also for holding this meeting. As a Montanan, there are a few things that can rival our love for the importance of our public lands. We raise our children on these lands. We make a living off these lands. If Senator Daines was here, she is not, I would say he proposed to his wife on these lands. So it is my pleasure today to introduce my fellow Montanan, somebody who exhibits uncommon common sense, somebody who has 2 ears and 1 mouth and acts accordingly, someone who is a critical thinker, thinks reasonably, and promotes reasonable decisions. That person is also President Biden's nominee to run the Bureau of Land Management. Look, folks, the last time I sat in this committee room was to introduce Ryan Zinke, a Republican representative who President Trump nominated to lead the Department of Interior, and I supported him in that position. While we may not always see eye to eye, but with all due respect to everyone here, Montanans know there's no better person for a job like the BLM position than a fellow Montanan, and you may ask why. Because Tracy is a proven leader with a track record of working across the aisle to get things done. She is honest, she is driven by facts, not political ideology. She is adept at managing the needs of diverse interests, and I know she's a perfect choice to run the BLM. Tracy and I first crossed paths when she was in charge of restoring the Clark Fork River, a critical watershed that after years of toxic runoff and neglect was in bad shape. So Tracy didn't sit on her hands. She brought together a diverse coalition made up of conservationists, listen to me, conservationists, organized labor, industry, agencies, and elected officials from every level of government, and got them rowing in the same direction to clean up and protect the Clark Fork River and the basin it runs in. I was deeply impressed with her work on that project, so I did, like any of us would do, I hired her. And I hired her to be my Missoula Regional Director and lead up the natural resource portfolio. Tracy played a key role on my staff in jump-starting conversations between people who had spent years battling one another in courtrooms and the press. These folks ranged from individuals in the timber community to wilderness advocates to small business owners. Ultimately, we saw some important timber projects move forward and breathtaking landscapes protected. After leaving my staff, Tracy went on to lead the Montana Department of Environmental Quality, where she was confirmed with strong bipartisan support because of her experience and her skill. At the DEQ, Tracy was responsible for overseeing the responsible development of our state's natural resources and for enforcing the laws that protect Montana's clean air and water. It is no surprise to me that she received letters of support from a wide range of groups, including sportsmen to oil and gas companies that appreciate her work and appreciate her attitude. Tracy has shown a lengthy commitment to making things work. She is well versed in everything from oil and gas permitting to outdoor recreation, land conservation, and she understands the central role public lands play in our country. Putting her in charge of the BLM will be putting a competent, down-to-earth leader in place who knows what the best solutions come from collaborations, not steamrolling. And in an area of division, she is a person this body can get behind and work with. I urge your support to her nomination. I just want to close with this. With all due respects to the ranking member. The points that you brought up that talks about appropriate use did not describe the person that I just talked about. This person listens, she works, she does the right thing. There was a bill that came up last year about putting a gold mine on the border of Yellowstone National Park. I opposed it. I think anybody with common sense would oppose it. The headwaters and the border of Yellowstone National Park. If that's what we're talking about, then that's the kind of person we need in the BLM. There are places we can mine, there are places we can drill, There are places appropriate for resource extraction. There are other places that are not. I think Tracy Stowe Manning brings that understanding to the table. And she is somebody that believes in multiple use and appropriate use. And I will tell you this, I would not be here today introducing her if I thought she was the person that you described, Senator Brasso. This is a good person that has a good heart, that understands the value of our public lands. Thank you both, Mr. Chairman, Senator Brasso.
Thank you, Senator Tester, and we very much